We are here to make an announcement to endorse our good friend Caleb Rowden for Senate. We're happy to do so. He has earned it. He's earned it through his service in the House. He is a small business person as well. He's made a career of supporting pro-jobs legislation. Just last session, Caleb ranked rated at 100% with our agenda, and he's shown great courage as well in the Missouri legislature. He's shown something else that I think is lacking in the discourse these days, whether it's in Washington or Jefferson City, and that's tolerance. And his stand on SJR 39, which would have been bad for Missouri employers, would have been bad for the state's economy, was nothing less than courageous. So it's our pleasure to endorse Caleb for his bid to become a senator from the Columbia area. Also, we are really happy to announce the fact that Caleb is being awarded our highest legislative honor. We call it the Man in the Arena Award for his courage in the legislature and his leadership in the legislature. This stems from a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, and I'll read it real quickly for you. "The credit in life goes not to the critic who would stand on the sidelines and point out where the strong may stumble, but actually the real credit in life goes to the man in the arena whose face may become marred with sweat and dust." Has that ever happened in the house before? And who becomes one who knows of great enthusiasm and great devotion and learns to spend himself in a worthy cause, so that at best, if he wins, he will know the thrill of high achievement. But if he fails, at least he will have failed while daring greatly. So that in life, his place will never be with those very cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. So ladies and gentlemen, here's your man in the arena. We hope he's your next senator from the area that we're in right now, Columbia, Missouri. How about a warm welcome for Caleb Rowden?
Well, thank you guys for being here. We kind of put this together at the last minute, and appreciate everybody coming out and being a part of this. It's really a great honor. I do want to echo Dan's thanks to Dave and his crew. Dave is out doing a little vacationing, and so it became a little more difficult to get this all worked out, and so that his crew stepped in and did a great job. And I want to thank the Chamber for their endorsement and for this great award. The Man in the Arena, certainly, the caliber of individuals who have won it previously is something that I really take seriously, and it really is a great honor. It's an honor for me to be able to be a voice for literally thousands of small business owners, because that's what me and my wife are. We've both been a part of multiple startups, and I remember a time several years ago, my wife was in her office, and I walked in, and she looked frustrated as possibly could be, and I thought maybe I was in trouble. But she said, "I'm learning QuickBooks because we're trying to save money, and so I'm going to learn it so I can do our books." And I said, okay. And so she, over the course of the next few months, got really good at it. And like most small business owners do, they find ways to make things work. And they do it in a lot of creative ways that a lot of folks don't realize. And so I think that's the story of, a lot of businesses around our state, regular people with an idea and a plan. And they, more times than not, they end up getting railroaded by government thinking that they should be in their business, and government thinking that they should tell them how they should do what they should do, and a number of other things. And so, part of my goal in Jeff City, and certainly as the chairman of the Economic Development Committee, has been to try to find ways to make sure the government where it's supposed to be as it relates to business, but out of the way otherwise. And so we've done that through a pretty deep look into the regulatory practices at the state level, and we've seen, as is the case certainly in Washington, but in Jefferson City as well, bureaucracy implements regulation and then they forget about it. And sometimes regulation needs to evolve a little bit, and sometimes it needs to go away. And so we've been trying to figure out ways through our committee to find ways to make sure that if there is a regulation that is aimed at small business, that it's doing what it's supposed to do, and if it's not, let's get it out of the way. And we also worked last year to try to find ways to incentivize investment into startups, into entrepreneurial ventures, something that certainly is a big deal for this community, and I think will be a part of how this community, how this community's economy grows. So again, I appreciate the chamber and this award. You know, I think the chamber. I'll turn the script around a little bit. I think the chamber is doing some really, really important work. The Missouri 2030 plan that they've put out is a big deal. When you're talking about, you know, in Jefferson City, because of term limits and because of any number of other things, it's really hard for legislators to say, where do we want to be 20, 30 years from now, and then work to put a plan in place to make that happen. And so the chamber has stepped in and said, hey, this is what we want the state to look like in the years to come, and we think this is how we get there. And it's turned into a big deal that a lot of legislators have taken note of, and really combining the ideas of we got to have a competent and trained workforce. We've got to make sure that our labor environment and our tort environment are where they need to be. We got to make sure that our infrastructure is where it needs to be. And if all those things are happening in tandem, then I think the stagnation that we've seen in our economy over the past number of years, I think we can make some steps in the right direction. So I appreciate them, and I look forward. I've really enjoyed working with their team over the last few years, and hope to continue to do that in the future. So again, thanks to you guys. Thanks to you for coming. Thanks to the chamber, and everybody endure these next 2 months the best that you possibly can. Thank you, guys.